Good morning, my dear students. I hope you all are fine and safe at home. So, here I am with my lecture number 22 of Commercial Studies, class 9th. Students, in this video, I shall be discussing about chapter number 7, that is Joint Stock Company. Students, already I have made two videos of this chapter, and those who haven't seen those videos yet, kindly first see that. Just in the previous video, I have discussed about the merits of a joint stock company and demerits of a joint stock company. Hope you have got all the topics which I have taught you till now. So in this video, I shall be covering the remaining topics of this chapter. So let's proceed to our topic number 1, that is, so in this video I am going to discuss with you the various types of joint stock companies. So students, there are various bases on which the types of company are divided. There are various bases. There are five types of bases on which the joint stock companies are divided. So first basis is the mode of incorporation. So on the basis of mode, you need to remember this term very carefully. That on the basis of mode of incorporation, the company, there are three companies: chartered companies, statutory companies, and registered companies. So you have to learn that on the basis of this there are three companies and what are the name of these three companies, and also you should know the explanation of these companies. So either it can come that how many types of companies are there on the basis of mode of incorporation. So you need to know the number as well as the name plus the explanation part also. So basically there are three types of companies. So the explanation we will discuss in our later slides. Next basis is just on the basis of liability of members. Just on the basis of liability, there are three types of companies: companies limited by shares, company limited by guarantee, and companies with unlimited liability. So in this video, we shall be discussing in detail about these two bases, and the other types of bases are, third is just on the basis of nationality. Nationality, there are three companies: first Indian companies, foreign companies, and multinational companies. So there are three types of companies on the basis of nationality. Fourth is on the basis of control. So on the basis of control, basically there are two types of companies: holding companies and subsidiary companies. These are very important in terms of definition. So we will understand in our next video. And the last type of joint stock company is on the basis of membership. So basically on the basis of membership, we have three companies: private companies, public companies, and government companies. So we will study that in our later video, next video. So let's start our first basis of incorporation, that is on the basis of mode of incorporation. Let's study that in detail. Now first is on the basis of mode of incorporation. We have discussed how many types of companies are there. There are three companies: chartered companies, statutory companies, and registered companies. So what are chartered companies? Let me read out the definition for you all. A chartered company is established by the royal charter or the special sanction granted by the head of the state. Now basically, if I explain you in short, that basically these are the companies which are established by the king or queen. King or queen. Just earlier when the country was ruled by monarch system, so at that time such companies were established. King and queen. When the country was being ruled by a monarch system, means monarch means the country which is ruled by either king or queen. Various kings have been ruled in India, have been ruling in India. So and queen also, queen like Queen Elizabeth is there. So the country which is ruled by monarch system are known as, the company which is being established by the royal charter, means king or queen, they are known as chartered companies. They have been established by the royal charter. Charter means the permission given by the queen, just king or queen, or they have been granted special sanction granted by the head of the state, means king or queen. So basically these are the monarchical system of companies which have been established by the royal charter or the special sanction. Sanction means the permission granted by the head of the state. And also you need to learn the examples also. The Bank of England, the Dutch East India Company, these are the companies which have been established by the king or queen permission. So I hope so you must have got this first type of company, chartered companies. Now second one is statutory companies. Statutory company means a company which is established by the special act of the central or state legislature. So any company which is formed by passing a special act. You must be knowing what is the meaning of act. Act means the special law passed just in favor of something, like RBI Act. So these are the companies which have been formed under a special act, which have passed by the which have been passed by the central government or the state legislature. So they are formed under a special act, under a special law, which have been passed by either central legislature or the state legislature. An example can be RBI, SBI. These are the companies which have been established by the special act or the law, you can say. So this is established by king and queen. This is established by a special act of parliament. And so the third is the registered companies. So registered companies established for registering it with the registrar of companies under the Companies Act. So these type of companies are established under the Companies Act. This all the nowadays all the things are framed under one just act, that is Companies Act. Companies Act 2013. 2013. So there is act, and all those companies which are registered under this act can be known as registered companies. For example, Tata and Iron Steel Company, Reliance Industries Limited, etc. So all those companies which have been established under the Companies Act 2013, they are known as registered companies. So we have discussed three types, that is chartered companies which are established by the king or queen, statutory which have been passed under a special act of parliament, and registered which are established between the just under the Companies Act 2013. So I hope so you have got just on the basis of incorporation, you have got all the three types of companies. So let's proceed to our next basis, that is on the basis of liability of members. Now you must be aware of this term liability, because already I have completed two chapters, chapter number 5 also and chapter number 6 also, and in those chapters I have also explained the meaning of liability. Liability means the amount you owe to outsiders, the amount which we owe, yeah, you owe to outsiders, you need to pay to outsiders which you have taken loan. So on that basis there are three types of companies: companies limited by shares, companies limited by guarantee, and companies with unlimited liability. So first remember all the names, and then you need to remember the definition also. Now in this type of company, it is registered with a specific amount of share capital. Share capital is pre-decided, and they are divided into specific number of shares. Just in my previous video I have explained you the meaning of share. What is share? The total capital of the company is divided into small parts, and these small parts are known as shares. These small parts are known as shares. So they are registered with a specific amount of share capital divided into specific number of shares. And just in this type of company, the liability of every member is limited into what extent? Limited to the amount, if any, unpaid on shares held by him. Now, to understand this definition, let's discuss one example. Suppose the person X is there. Person X is there, and he has purchased 5,000 shares of one company. 5,000 shares of one company. One company, of which one share cost equals to 10 rupees. One share cost equals to 10 rupees, and he has paid only, just out of 10 rupees he has paid only 6 rupees just till now, and the remaining 4 rupees is yet to be paid. 6 rupees is paid, 6 rupees paid, and 4 rupees is yet to be paid. So that means now if 4 rupees 4 rupee left. So now if the company faces any loss, faces faces any loss, so now X will be liable to pay for the whole loss of the company, or he will be liable only for rupees 4 for which it is left, for which it is unpaid by X. He will be liable only for the amount which is unpaid by him. Means 4 rupees is left, and total number of shares was 5,000, means 5,000 into 4 multiplied by 4 will be, multiply by 4 accounts for 20,000 rupees. That means now he is liable only for 20,000 rupees, and beyond that 20,000 rupees he is not responsible for anything. So in this type, just in this type of company, company limited by shares, a person can be held liable only to that extent for which he has not paid the money. He has already paid for 6 rupees, means 60,000 he has already, 30,000 he has already paid, but 20,000 which he has not paid, only that amount he will pay, and beyond 20,000 he is not responsible for any payment. Just although if a company is suffering the loss, then also he will not pay from his own pockets, because he is liable only for 20,000, and beyond that he will not pay anything. So I hope so you must have got what is the meaning of this definition by this example, that a person will be liable only to that extent which he has unpaid. 4 rupees was unpaid by him, so he will be liable only for 20,000, and rest he has already paid 30,000. That means he is not responsible for that. So coming back to the definition part, that means the liability of every member is limited to the amount, if any. Suppose he has paid the full amount of shares, so if any the just amount is left, so he is liable for that just unpaid amount, and beyond that he is not responsible for anything. This example also I have mentioned the same thing which I have explained in my next slide, that X has purchased 5,000 shares, paid only 6 rupees per share. Liability will be limited to 4 rupees per share only, that means 20,000, 5,000 into 4. So I hope so you have got this type of company. So let's proceed to our next type, that is company limited by guarantee. So in this type of company, the liability of every member is limited to the amount which he had undertaken to contribute, if necessary, to the assets of the company at the time of winding up. So basically these are the companies which offer some security. Whenever we take loan from the bank, we need to keep a certain amount of security as with the bank, so that if you are not able to repay the loan back, the bank authority can sell such security and can recover the amount from that security. So such companies which keep the security, which keep some amount of money as a security, so they will be liable only to that extent, just only to that extent to which they have given as a security. The amount which they have given as a security, or you can say as a guarantee, to that extent they are responsible, but beyond that security, beyond that guarantee, they are not responsible. Suppose while entering into a joint stock company, they have deposited 10,000 as a security money, 10,000 as security money. So if a company suffers a loss, their 10,000 rupees will be used up, just in case of loss. But beyond 2,000 rupees, sorry, beyond 10,000 rupees, they will not be responsible for any of the amount. So in such type of company, the liability of the members is limited to the amount which they had undertaken to contribute, which they had offered themselves, and beyond that they are not responsible for anything. So I hope so you must have got this definition. It's very easy, not very tough. An unlimited company. See, in this type of company, the liability of the members is unlimited. Liability of the members is unlimited. Suppose if the company's assets are insufficient for satisfying the claims, then the personal property will also be attached. Suppose if a company suffers a big loss, and the company's assets are not able to provide the money, so their personal property includes cash, jewelry, shares, debentures, will also be sold off to repay the loss. So in that case, the liability of the members is also unlimited. Their personal property are also attached in paying the losses. So that is the unlimited company. Hope you have got all the types of company taught in this video. And if you have any problem, just mention in the comment section. Just keep on revising all the topics. And thank you for watching. Do like and subscribe my channel, and have a nice day, students.